say yes, Vega.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Shanice Collins, the president of the WIC Network Virginia. We are so glad that you decided to join us for today's event. The WIC Network is guided by its 7 touchstones of leadership, and we expose you to experts and leaders that are committed to the support and development of women in the industry. The touchstone focus for our chapter this year is Be Fearless, which is defined as being confident as you take risks, committing to your vision and believing in it above all else. It is knowing that others will sense your conviction and be willing to follow without fear. Again, we are happy to have you join us for today's Power Up, Be Fearless, and Get Going event. Welcome and special thanks to the WIC Network Philadelphia for partnering with us on this event. We hope that you feel welcome and that you enjoy and take lots of notes from today's activities. And if there are any Philly participants out there, make sure you just say hey in the chat to us and we will welcome you in virtual space. Now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our speaker facilitator for this activity today. And she has quite a bit of extensive knowledge and credentials, and you will be well rewarded for today in attending, and you'll have great notes and things you can use for many, many days to come. So Shelly James is, one moment, please. Shelly James is the founder and CEO of SRJ Consulting Group, LLC, an organizational development consultancy specializing in memorable leadership development experiences and innovative team building solutions. Shelly also leverages her expertise working in the telecommunications industry by providing executive coaching, leader assessment analysis, and leadership training on a national team supporting matrix leaders and virtual teams across the country. James has more than 20 years of experience with corporate, nonprofit, government organizations, equipping and inspiring leaders at all levels. She published Cox Communications' first in-house matrix leadership training program and is a copywriter of a leadership development measurement system, aligning performance objectives to goal setting. Shelly also has a Bachelor of Science in Political Science from Old Dominion University, right here in Virginia. She has a Master of Arts degree in Organizational Change and Development from Regent University. And she holds the designation of Professional in Human Resources by the Society for Human Resource Management and is certified in the following: Berkman Method, Hogan Assessment, Development Dimension International, and Franklin Covey. She recently completed a certificate program for the Psychology of Leadership from Cornell University. She resides in Chesapeake, Virginia with her family. So she's a fellow Chesapeake resident just like me. And now she is going to tell us how to power up, be fearless, and get going. Okay, Shelly.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. There's some dump trucks going on outside, but hopefully you won't see that. I can see your picture, so thank you. That lets me know I'm not alone. I do want to welcome you to Power Up, Be Fearless, and Get Going with yours truly, Shelly James, presenting on behalf of SRJ Consulting Group. And I have a question for you. Who is open to investing 60 focused minutes of your day today to change your life? I want to let that sink in. Who's open to that? Gotcha. I can see some emojis coming through. I love it. I love it. I love it. And if you're on the fence, I kind of see some of you that you're ready to go. If there's somebody that's on the fence and you're not sure, let me encourage you. Let me encourage you to give a yes right now. So if you're ready for this life-changing opportunity, in the chat, type I am ready, from whatever city and state you're in. So if you're in Philadelphia, type I am ready from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but type it in. I am ready. That's kind of that baby commitment. And I'm looking at your feedback coming through. Let's blow up the chat. Outstanding, outstanding. And as you're typing in that feedback, I want to let you know, as I mentioned at the very beginning, I'm encouraging you to have something on your end to write with, to capture your dots. The goal is that as we go through what we have planned on today, there'll be some ahas that surface for you. I need for you to capture those. That is your data point. Those are your dots. I also would like for you to have 2 pieces of paper that we're gonna do an activity with. So you'll need to have that handy as well. You can also use a Post-it if you want to do that as well. We're going to be leveraging the chat so that you can contribute throughout our time, and you'll hear and connect with others. At the same time, we've got a get going partner breakout plan for you at the end as well. So we'll leave a little bit of time for you to have an opportunity to actually be in a breakout where you can share some of your ahas. And I believe everyone should have had an opportunity to put that feedback in the chat. And I know that today is the 5th. We just wanted to make sure you were tracking with us as well. Okay. All right. So here we go. First things first. This is our combined why for the session. It's our why. And I'll say it like this, it's our why, but at the same time, you could look at it from the standpoint, it's your why not? Why not get going and be fearless? Have you ever stopped to consider what you might be missing out on? What's getting in your way? And think about it like this, how are you actually getting in your own way? So it's time for you to connect. It's time for you to write down some information for me. This is your first data point. It's your first dot. So here's the question, and I want you to answer this question on your end. What would you be doing if the sky was the limit and there were no barriers? What would you be doing? First thing that I want you to do is capture that on your end. Once you've done that, let's season the chat a little bit with maybe some 1 or 2 word descriptors of what that looks like. And I'm waiting to see your responses. What would you be doing if the sky was the limit? No barriers, no hindrances. There you go. I love it. Okay, Eva, you're my first person. I was waiting. Okay, let's pop it in there because it's move south. Got it. Innovative, traveling, owning your own business, training and speaking, and that may be full time or doing it when you want to do it. Absolutely. Writing a book. Please, here's my 2 asks. On your end, I need you to capture it. It's your data point. And then I also want you to pepper the chat a little bit. Beach house, you are speaking my language, Gail. Make sure that you're giving that feedback. And also, I forgot to tell you right up front, there's no stress. So if you don't worry about it. If you're a little longer on thought, that's okay. Not a problem. I'm going to transition away from my first Shellyism, and that is life is too short to live scared or limited. It just is. It's commitment time for those of you that are ready to move the dial. Now I'm talking to everybody, but I'm really, really talking to those of you that you're ready for your next. And the question that I have for you is, and just give me a visual response with shaking of your head, are you willing to be moved? Let me let that sink in, because if you're not, guess what? You can have anybody on the call today. They're not going to move you if you're not willing to be moved. So that's the first question is, are you willing to be moved? If you said, yes, I am willing to be moved, let me encourage you to begin with the end in mind. And today is all about getting clarity for the adjustments and the pivots that need to occur to get you to that next level. Success equals movement and action. It's kind of mapping out your plan from X to Y by when. And it does require a mental shift. It requires challenging ourselves to do something different. I love it, Eva. Eva, let me know in the chat. I'm ready. Me too, Eva. All right. So in the chat, if you're ready, type in all caps, I am ready. That's a sign of your commitment. I am ready. We are doing this together. Today is a special day. I don't know if you knew that, but today is a special day. Fantastic. Let's go. I love it. I'll take I am ready. I'm taking let's go. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please. Here's the first thing is getting ready is all about knowing your current status. So here it goes, everybody on the call today. Are you revolving at work and just revolving with what you do, kind of going round and round? Take a look at the picture. Look at the second picture. Is that you and what you're experiencing currently? Are you worn out with what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, or what you're hearing, or what you have to deal with, or who you have to deal with? Keep that in mind, just knowing what your status is. Or, so revolving is one status. The other status is, or are you intentionally evolving? Evolving meaning you're moving forward, you're getting things ready, you're positioning yourself, you're making connections, you're taking a risk. And not only that, you're asking for what you need. Are you evolving? Remember that Sesame Street saying, and it was kind of like one of these pictures is not like the other. They are not one and the same. Evolving is one thing, revolving is the other. Now, if you're saying, yes, I want to evolve, then today is the day. Today is your day. And I want you to think about the benefits. Now, if you are simply revolving, here's what you're going to experience or can experience. It's burnout and fatigue. So that's kind of what you're experiencing. That's an indicator for you. If you are evolving, let me tell you what evolving equates to. Evolving equates to progression, energy, and the possibilities. In 3 words or less in the chat, I want you to take a minute, even if you have to close your eyes. Think about what you would get if you evolved more and revolved less. What would you see or experience if you did less revolving and more evolving? Let me give you some tips. I'll just throw out some words. For some of you, you may say, well, you know what? You got it, Barbara. Less stress, peace of mind. I didn't even have to tell you. Yes, populated. Those are the outcomes that you want. I love it. Yes, happiness. Change in thought patterns, more fulfilled. Absolutely. Keep that feedback coming. Because your feedback here, it's the positive outcome that you're saying you want. I love it. I love this feedback. And I do want you to know that in order for you to evolve, it's a choice and it's a decision. And guess who gets to make it? You do. It's a choice and a decision. And up next, what we're going to do is we're going to leverage the SRJ framework, a linear framework to help you to leverage in order to evolve. Since the majority of you are telling me, yes, you want the option of evolving and not revolving. Here is the framework. Here's how. And the recommendation is that you use and repeat this linear framework known as RPO. And I'm going to cover this in a little bit of detail so that everyone has a kind of a clear understanding of what it is. And as we walk through it, make sure to kind of to take notes and to capture your ahas, as I said. So first things first is we have to start with acknowledging where you are. It's valuable to get clear about where you are. Are you stuck? Are you afraid? Are you frustrated? Are you thriving? Is something missing? It is vital that you get really clear about where you are so that you can acknowledge where you are. And another way to think about it is there are 4 primary emotions, and those 4 are mad, sad, glad, or scared. When we think about sad, we can put in the category of sad, disappointed, and worn down. So if that's you, kind of make a note. If you're mad, that could look like being frustrated from a working perspective. Glad is possibly fulfilled. And then scared, what could also go in that category would be unsure, doubt, and insecurity. So that's all around getting clear about acknowledging where you are. When we look at, and I have there who you are, how many of you really know who you are? Especially if you've been in a tough situation or a tough environment, sometimes we tend to lose who we really are. Acknowledging is all about getting clear. Who you are, what is it that you want to do? Where do you want to go? And how you challenge yourself with separating your feelings from facts. Because guess what? Sometimes our feelings are not facts. The second point in our model here, A is for acknowledging, next is releasing. And releasing is all about letting go. It looks at who's holding you up, who's getting in your way. And guess what? Even if it's you, who needs to be released so you can move forward? Even if you need to be rescued from you. And last but not least, who do you need to forgive? And this is a work setting, but even in our work experiences, there may have been opportunities where you've been disappointed and let down. And that's shaping your direction or how you go about venturing forward. Releasing is about getting clear about what that is so that you can let that go. Here's a question for you. Who do you need to break up with? I mean, they're just not a good mate. You need to quit them. Who do you need to break up with, even if it's your thoughts or your mindset? With ways and opportunities that they've worked in the past, but it's no longer a viable solution for you today. As we transition for power up and out, power up is about knowing your secret sauce. What are your strengths? Where do you have capability? And once you focus on that area, you can begin to intentionally build that up. And I see some feedback about self-doubt, absolutely. And sometimes the people that we need to release are fostering that self-doubt. So we need to release them. Power out is about movement and action. Who needs to know you and what you do or what you're already doing? Where is your tribe? And your tribe, what I mean by that is those are the people that they need what you have to offer. And also when we look at powering out, what's one small step that you could take to get an introduction to play more in that space? Powering out is about quality, intentionality, movement, and action. And I have a tip for you. I'm going to give you some power aids as we walk through our time together. So my tip for you is powering up and out. It doesn't always look like what everyone else is doing. It's unique and specific to you. And you have to be okay with that. Did you know that it won't do you any good to change your view, change your location, or change your space if you don't change your mind? And I want you to take a second just to call up and experience activities or people or your environment. What energizes you? Get your creativity flowing. I want you to consider what that is. Do you even know what that is? But getting clear about that is also very powerful for you as well. The reverse is true also, and the reverse would be what currently in your world is sapping your very essence. Is it the type of work that you're doing? Is it the type of people that you're interacting with? What's draining you? And I put a Shellyism on the screen for you. And that Shellyism says that everything that comes your way, I mean, everything that you're facing, it can be fuel or it can be a weight. It's up to you. Fuel means you are leveraging that. Even if it was heartbreaking, you're leveraging that to push you forward. And a weight is, it's how you're looking at it. If you look at it as a weight, it will cause you to sink. And when you think of weights, sometimes people, if you're surrounded by people who are constantly telling you what you cannot do, those are weights. Here's a quote for you. I want you to check out this powerful quote. It's by Dr. Eger, a Holocaust survivor. And she talks about the power of our thoughts and our mindsets. She basically kind of says that our mind, everybody's mind, somewhat acts as a jailer for us. Can hold us hostage. That self-doubt that I believe Barbara she mentioned earlier. At the same time, it can be a jailer, but if you know how to leverage it, it can also be a liberator for you. She also put it this way, that we can't help being victimized, but we can help whether or not we take on the mantle of being a victim. Also, another way that I want you to look at it is surviving trauma and disappointment. It's not the same thing. It's one thing to survive it. It's another thing to be made whole. Let me put it in another way. Surviving trauma and disappointment is not the same thing as being healed and being whole from the experience. Two different things. Healed is one thing. I made it out of that experience. Yes, I'm healed. That's one step. Another step is being whole. So with that, here's the question for you. It's really up to you. Don't miss your destiny. And we're about to take a self-assessment. We're going to complete an assessment. Before you get started, I want you to think about your work experience over the last 6 months to a year. Just kind of get that top of mind. Consider the pros and the cons and what you experience daily, weekly, or monthly. For you, the more transparent you are, the better. If you're ready, give me a thumbs up. We'll go to the assessment. Very good. Here we go. And the assessment is called, it's a DOA assessment. Who knows what DOA means? Slap that in the chat for me. DOA. What does DOA mean? There you go. Barbara is quick. You got it. It's a it's a DOA. Dead on arrival assessment of work. Another way to think about it, it's a headed nowhere fast checkup. Headed nowhere fast checkup. As I cover these questions with you, give yourself a plus for each yes and a minus for each no. Here we go. First question, are your contributions valued? Remember, the more transparent you are, the better. This is for you at work. It's a yes or no. I would say go with your first gut instinct. That's usually going to be kind of the most accurate answer for you. Second question, do you receive consistent development? Not the end of the year. Oh, by the way, we have some money left over, so let's send you somewhere. Number 3, are you encouraged to be your authentic self? Here's number 4. Are you invited to innovate, to challenge the status quo? Or are you encouraged to just go along with it? Are you getting exposure? Remember, yes or no. Are you sought out for what you do well? That means someone knows what your strengths are versus random assignments. Are you encouraged to take risks? Number 8, do you know how you limit you? We all do it, but are you aware of how you get in your own way? That ties into that acknowledgement piece. Number 9, what's the most significant career barrier that you're facing? Do you know what that is? And number 10, are you asking for clear support and advocacy to get you to the next level? Are you intentional about asking people to support you and to advocate for you? Now, in the, I believe you can use your, use Zoom to give me your feedback, but I want you to use your Zoom reactions, your emojis, to let me know how you did. Smiley face up, you did okay. Smiley face down, not so well. But let me see how you did. You can leverage the chat as well, but let's use our technology to see how you self-assess. So far I see, there you go. All right, thank you, Beth. Let the responses come in. I love it. The more honest you are, the better. Yes, let those responses come in. And just remember, if you have 1 plus 1 yes, then you have something to build off of. If you had multiple minuses, then you definitely have work to do. I love it. The responses are coming. Let's move forward, continuing to look at ARPO. And if you don't mind, can you mute yourself on your line? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Now, acknowledging, as you can see here, this is purposeful and it's a targeted moment of clarity for you. The more clear you are, the better. And sometimes when people, they struggle with knowing, hey, I don't know where I want to be. So here's how I would give you some feedback with looking at that. Then take a look at what frustrates you. If you're not clear about what you like, look at what's getting in your way or what frustrates you. That's a starting point for you as well. Another Shellyism that I have for you is, I want you to always remember that what frustrates you is often direction for you. Frustration can be direction. Sometimes it's a way of letting you know it's time to pivot. And what I'd like for you to do from a post-session homework standpoint, I want you to write down this question on your end. What do I want and need today? Write that down. What do I want and need today? It's not about having the answer, but it's about asking that question and start working towards what that means for you. What do I want and need today? What energizes you? I want you to consider the environments that are most suitable for your gifts and your talents and your contributions. For some of you, it's a corporate environment. Some of you, it's nonprofit. Some of you, it's freelance. Some of you, it's being an entrepreneur or a solopreneur. And I'd like for you to finish this sentence in the chat. Type out, I want to blank value and outcomes in my work. I want to create blank in my blank value and outcomes in my work. Or another way of saying that is I want to contribute blank in blank ways. I want to contribute in what ways? So again, it's a data point for you to look at how do you want to contribute? What do you value? And I want to take a look at maybe a couple of those responses. For me, if I had to type it out, I would say I want to create, I want to change people's lives. That's the value that I want to create. I want to make a difference. I enjoy serving. For some of you, it may be I enjoy creating frameworks. I enjoy execution, getting things done. Go ahead and give us that feedback. I'm going to transition us forward. As we look at releasing, and it's vital, it's looking at how do you drop all the weights, the anchors, the barriers, and the limitations. Now, as I did my work with ARPO, I kind of thought back, I sat down and thought about what did I need to release? And what came to mind for me is I had a basketball coach, I believe I was in the 11th or 12th grade, and I'm going to call him Mr. B for anonymity's sake, who depended on me during the season. He would actually tell me, hey, Shelly, we need you to do this and do that for each game. So I thought I'm making a valuable contribution. Mr. B is coming up to me and telling me every game how he needs me to contribute. And I'm out there, I'm hustling. But guess what? At the end of the year, that banquet program where players were recognized, Mr. B did not recognize me. And it left me disappointed. Now I am 50 years old. And I just realized that I was really disappointed by what happened when I was in the 12th grade. And it impacts me to this day because of that disappointment. And how it translated was it left me vulnerable to someone in leadership that I trusted letting me down. If I didn't release it and correct it, I would walk around with that self-fulfilling prophecy of always being disappointed by my leader because I expected it to happen. So that is an example of getting clear about what you need to release. And by being transparent with you, I can say I have to release Coach B so that I'm no longer impacted by that experience. And on your end, I want you to consider what you need to forgive or to release. If you think about it, let's look at it from a work perspective. Have you had a huge disappointment in your working life? What's the biggest one that you can think of? I mean, one that kind of took you for a loop. You worked hard, maybe you didn't get the promotion, but you were promised that they would consider you. You put in all the effort, but it didn't happen. I mean, a big disappointment. And I want you to lock into one. And remember at the beginning that I told you that, hey, I want you to have a few pieces of paper. Well, you can use a Post-it. Can you see mine here? This is what I want you to do. I put disappointment. So that's a big one for me. So kind of get yours, write it down. We're going to do an activity. We're going to do a experiential activity. It can be a Post-it. I'm open. When you have it, let me know. Let me know in the chat or give me a visual saying, yes, Shelly, I have it. Here's mine. It's big. This is all about the value of releasing. Let me know when a couple of you have it. There you go. Thank you so much. I saw a thumbs up. You ready? When you have it, I want you to do what I'm doing with it. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Get it? You got it? I mean, get it good. Big bold letters. You got it? Get it? I love it. And look, here you go, Shanice. Don't throw it forward. Throw it backwards. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now, what we just did, it's an activity, but it's real time. It's an opportunity for us to release, to relinquish a weight, a detriment, a mindset. And as you acknowledge and as you release what comes up, and I want you to keep that phone handy this week or something to write with, because things will start to come up for you. Write it down, ball it up, and throw it behind you. And to add to that, what I'd like for you to do, because I kind of feel like you guys trust me, you did it. I want you to take a deep breath, hold it in for 5 seconds, and then we're going to let it out. But when we do, we'll let it out with our mouth, and we're going to release that thing again. Are you guys ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blow it out. Blow out that word. Let it all out. Release it. I love it. Release the disappointment. Let it go. Because if you don't, it serves as a weight. It holds you down. You're not able to go forward. And I've given you some other points here with kind of releasing. It's learning how to celebrate you as well. Let's keep it moving. All right. As we're transitioning to powering up and out, a technique that can be leveraged is appreciative inquiry. And what I want you to do is think about the last time that you were celebrated. I mean, you hit the ball out of the park. What was said about you? Can you type some words in the chat? The last time that you were celebrated, what did people say about you? What did they tell you? Let's load up the chat with some celebration. All right, perseverance. I love it. All of my 2022 graduates, way to go, way to go, way to go. All right, ownership. Let's blow up the chat. When you were you hit the ball out of the park. What was said about you on that project? Ownership, excellent leadership ability. What was said? And if you can't think of anything, that's an indicator. Entertaining, engaging. Thank you, Barbara. Team player. Thank you, Dr. V. Love it. Always willing to help. Love it. Honest. We're taking a minute to appreciate the things about you, the strengths that you have. Your strengths are your secret sauce. Did you know that? It's your secret sauce. And on your end, I want you to make sure that you're writing down, you're capturing something that you do well, something that you're known for. What are you known for? Capture it on your end, on your little Post-it, because we're about to do another activity. So I need you to capture it, but don't capture it on the page that we're going to do something with. One thing that you're known for. John, I want you to make sure you get some paper there too. I'm loving the view. Here's mine as you write it down. Just one. Can you see mine? I believe I'm known for being purposeful. It's my secret sauce. I want yours. Get something down. Write it in big old gigantic bold letters. And when you do, give me a couple of thumbs up. When I have about 5 thumbs up, then I'll know it's okay to go ahead. Secret sauce. All right, thank you, Lori. Lori gave me a thumbs up. Tracy gave me a thumbs up. I love it. Okay, are you ready? Type in the chat to let me know you're ready. I can't see everybody's visual all at the same time. I love it. Thank you. All right, so here's your secret sauce. Now, what I want you to do with your secret sauce is, this is your secret sauce, and this is you investing in that secret sauce. Putting in time for the secret sauce. Making the secret sauce stronger, more defined, better. Putting in the work for the secret sauce. And now what I want you to do is, you're investing in your secret sauce. Come on, it's the secret sauce. Ball it up, make it strong, intentionally Pour into it. Intentionality, intentionality. Whatever room you're in, I want you to look at the door and throw your secret sauce as close as you can get to the door. Let's see how accurate you get. Throw that secret sauce to the door. Throw that secret sauce to the door. Thank you so much, everybody that did that. Here's what that meant. It meant that you are going to be intentional in moving yourself forward to your next opportunity. And if you didn't do it, you just missed out. It's a visual reminder. I want you to remember to invest in that, in your strength. Invest in what you do well and launch it forward. Cultivate your strengths. Speak to your strengths. When you're interviewing, speak to what your strengths are. Know what you do well. Take a chance and stretch. And the last thing here is search for your tribe, your squad. Search for who has and wants what you have to offer. Because guess what? You don't have to force it when it fits. If you're having to force too much, perhaps that's not the right fit. And when it comes to squads, I want you to remember this from squad goals. Make sure that you're connecting with people that make you better and not trying to make you a clone. Make sure your squad is comprised of people that there's diversity there, that they're invested in making you better, not making you correct, but making you better and not making you show up looking like everyone else. Some additional context here is powering out is really all about charting your course. What are you looking for? Are you looking for an environment that's process focused or a little more people centered? Or do you need a 50-50 mix? Are you looking for an environment that's cutting edge? Or are you looking for an environment that's tried and true? Something that's forward focused, artificial intelligence, it's on the cutting edge? Or do you kind of want something that honors the past? It's bedrock and it adds value, it adds service. And then last but not least, are you looking for an environment that has that work-life balance, or you kind of want that fast and furious? You feel like you can kind of die when you sleep, when you can sleep when you die. It's really up to you. So there's no right or wrong here, it's up to you. Whatever you decide, my encouragement here is to make sure that you, number one, ask for help. You update your squad, you build a squad. At the same time, let me encourage you to fire your naysayers. Even if the biggest one is you and how you think about you, fire you in that regard. And the last thing that I'll say here before I move on is I want you to remember this too. I want you to stop trying to make a temporary duty station a permanent or forever location. I'll repeat that. Stop trying to make a temporary duty station a permanent or a forever location. My military or Army bratish or Navy brats kind of get that temporary duty station. It's meant to be temporary. It's not meant to be permanent. Sometimes we hold on to for dear life, but it's not the space we're supposed to be holding on in. And then last but not least, when we talk about powering up and out, it's about asking yourself powerful questions and reflection. You don't have to have all the answers, but you do need to start to ask the right questions to get you moving in the right direction. And how you do that is starting with your why. And another way for me to give that to you, for you to think about it is, how do you want to spend your dash? You were born, you kind of have to exit at some time. How do you want to spend that time? Do you want to spend that time worried and frustrated? Or do you want to spend that time adding the maximum value that you can add, having the impact that you know you were made to have? And as you consider that, think about what your next move is, that next adventure. So I'm just kind of talking to you about what I have showing on the slide here. Think about what you want to experience. What's your end game? For some of you, you're saying, okay, I want to retire. I want to be on the beach. Is that you or that's me? Okay, that's me. All right. But have an idea of what that is. Because once you do, then that will help you to plug right into how do I need to shift? And when we talk about shifting, it's challenging yourself to what do I need to do more, better, and differently? And then last but not least, who can help? What relationships can I leverage? How can I collaborate? How can I partner? I have a power booster for you. And a power booster is identify what drives procrastination for you. That's a power booster. What stops you in your tracks? I think you're my friend, so I'll be honest. Sometimes for me, it's perfection. And I know you shouldn't strive for it, but sometimes it just holds me up because I don't want to make a mistake. I'm going to blame my dad with the sergeant major and being an Army brat. I'm going to blame him for that. Rest in peace. But sometimes that will stop me from moving. Now, if I know that that's what it is, that when I see procrastination, then I can encourage myself to get going because I can acknowledge perfection is stopping me from taking that step. Or what's my first step? So that's a power booster for you. Know what drives procrastination for you. Sometimes for some of you, it's not having all the information that you think you need. For some of you, you don't know what to do. So you don't do anything. Another power booster for you is I want you to get really good at calling out those personal falsehoods that you're believing is fact. Stop believing the lies that you are telling yourself about you. Lies that say you can't do it. Lies that said whatever somebody else said is true. What if what they said isn't true? What if what they said was true yesterday, but it's not true today? And I'm going to push some of you, really push you, even when you're looking at job applications, because we know that there's a dynamic with male and females that when females look at a job description, they think they have to have all of the requirements necessary before they even apply. Males look at that same description, and if it's 10 and they say I have 2, I'm good to go, I'm going for it. Females, if it's 10, females think I have to have all 10. Well, guess what? No, you don't. Speak to your transferable skills. So that is an example of a falsehood that we believe is fact. It's not true. Let's continue on. Consider what's at stake. It's your unlived or underlived life. That's what's at stake. So it does matter. And last but not least, we're going to transition for you to have some time in a breakout, about 7 minutes. We're going to allow you to participate in the breakout. And what I want you to do is share in that breakout, talk about the A, the R, or the P, the acknowledge, release, powering up and out. But I want you to have some dialogue about what you got out of today. Share it. Those are your power up partners. There is no wrong answer. Even if you said, wow, I need to stop and think more, that's okay. Vega, we are ready for that to transition into those breakouts. We may have to do maybe 5 to 7 minutes. And let me know if you need me to stop sharing for that to take place. You are muted. There you go. Okay, I see those breakouts. All right. If you see the breakout, do they have to join, click to join, or will it automatically? Gotcha. Very good. All right, perfect. And let me know when it's just you and me, Vega. You want to bring them back at about 12:55 or 12:56? What do
I
you
have a
think?
timer set for 7 minutes and it'll
Okay,
count them down, giving them 60 seconds notice.
gotcha. Okay, very good. How are we doing?
I think we're doing great. I had several, Michael, if I see you there, Michael, you're not in your room 11. I'm gonna move you to 10. There it goes. Okay.
Thank you. My wing,
So-
my wing woman, my Robin. We had to shift, but that's what technology. So it's okay. But I've got the presentation on one end, and I can see them, and then the notes on the other. So
Yeah, I think it's great. There's I think the visual that you're
Mhm.
giving them, the action items, even if they're just gestures, are physical things that are releasing and empowering. I think that is very helpful. These are some really good things. I have the survey ready with your questions whenever
very
I'm ready.
good. Okay, very good. All right, that's perfect. So when they come back, I'll wrap. Oh, did something happen? Oh, maybe me. Okay, when they'll come, I won't take up much time so they can kind of complete that survey for us.
Oh no, I lost my breakout.
Oh, you
I
can
just-
have
I
a
just-
breakout with me. Oh, go ahead, Vega.
Okay, I can move you to another room.
Yes, I was with somebody named Barbara.
Yeah, I see her there. Not sure. Okay.
Perfect. Look at you, you little expert. You just wanted to spend time with me. I know.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
I'm assigning you back to another room.
Okay.
There you go. I really have like done
I
nothing but
believe you.
research
I
on this for
believe you. I
days.
believe you.
And several people have dropped off, so it changed how many.
Yes.
I
believe you.
I had the it ready to go, and then I had to recreate and modify the number of rooms several times,
You're
and
gonna have
then
to
just
show
move
me
people.
one of these days. You're gonna have to give me a baby Zoom lesson.
Yeah, I had to move people a couple of times, but the rooms are a little smaller, but they're. Yeah.
I think that's good. How
Yeah.
many do we have? Do we know how many we have on today?
We at one time the highest we got was 64.
Very good. And then my other question was, with the polling, will I be able to get what the results are kind of from the poll, just to let me know how it trended?
Yeah, I don't think that those questions should be shared with everyone, but I
Yes.
will
Oh,
do a
absolutely. Yes,
screenshot
me
of
and
them
you.
and
Yes,
save
me
it
and
for
you. Yep.
you.
Yes, perfect. Okay.
So we have 2 minutes and 53 seconds left. It's counting down.
Okay.
It's
All right. Very good.
giving me a
Very good.
timer.
Very good. And we'll have them out right at the top of the hour.
And I did remember to hit record, by the way, in the beginning.
Okay. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, no, I did.
Oh my goodness. Very good. I'm gonna advance this so that they're coming back. They can kind of see. You want them to see this, or I'll wait for them to come back? No, not sure what's going on outside my door, but it's a lot of noise. Can you hear it? It's
I
like a dump.
cannot. My
Okay,
neighbor
very
is
good.
mowing too, by the way.
Gotcha. Yeah, sounds like I don't know what's going on, but oh my goodness. Tree. It's a tree trimming services.
Oh, wow.
Trimming somebody's tree. So yeah.
An hour really isn't a lot of time.
No, and it goes by pretty fast. And yeah, that was a long introduction. You guys just could have said, "Here's Shelly."
Yeah, well, and I was like, do you want to introduce her? I say, here's her bio if you want to pull some nuggets out. And
Right.
he was
Not
like,
yeah. Right. Yeah. I was like, oh, man, yeah. Oh my goodness.
I
It
would
goes
say
by
she
pretty good.
cheerleaded for you today. Is what she did.
I was like, oh, stop it.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
So
I
we,
guess I'll be coming back. So do you
1
break the
minute,
rules?
we have
or-
1 minute left.
Okay, very good. All right, I got 3 minutes. Okay.
So they should be getting their 60-second countdown now,
Okay.
right now.
So let me know when they start to come back, just kind of let me know and I'll go
Yeah.
from there. Hopefully they'll come on back.
15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. How was that time in your power up breakout? Give us some feedback in the
Meeting is
chat.
being recorded.
I see a thumbs up. Love it. Thank you, Amanda. Very good. I see some smiling faces. So hopefully it was meaningful time. It wasn't a long time, but meaningful time for you. We have 1 minute, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. Vega will also launch a poll. So we definitely want to get your feedback to let us know how the session was on today, whether it was of value for you. My contact information is listed for additional partnerships with corporate entities. If today was valuable, I want you to consider going out into my LinkedIn page and providing me with a testimonial
This
about the
meeting
value
is
of
being
today.
recorded.
And I believe I may be able to put that link, or Vega, we can put that link in the chat for you to do that. I want you to know that my mission on today, or my mission in life, and it's a real mission for me, is to help you live your best life today. And I hope that you saw that and got that out of the presentation. So you had that poll, go ahead and give that feedback. This has been an SRJ production, and it has been truly my privilege. In a good old Army brat fashion, it is 1 o'clock and we are done.
Before you all leave, just want to say thank you again to Shelly for being our facilitator. And thank you to our sponsors, Cox, Comcast, VCTA, Shintel, Glow Fiber, Thomas McMullen, and STARS. I hope that you have taken away a bunch of nuggets. I have revolving versus evolving, the ARPO method, the DOA assessment, and power boosters. So you
And
should have
Shanice,
something.
yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you guys one thing. I want you to remember this. Get you some non-negotiables. Know what your non-negotiables are. Know what they are and recalibrate them if necessary. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I need you to know you need to have some non-negotiables.
Nope, that was the end of my spiel. So you came in right on time. Vanessa,
It was
I'm
a
glad you were
pleasure
able
seeing
to join
everybody.
us. Welcome.
Absolutely. I'll hang around. If you have any questions, I'll kind of be right here. See those beautiful
Quick
faces?
question.
Yes.
How is the recording going to be shared?
To all registered participants will receive a link of the recording after today's session. So even if people were not able to participate, they'll get a recording of today's session, which I am stopping now.
I get to see everybody's beautiful faces.